when you're winning and you yell and stomp and scream the way Mike Stoops has. When you're winning, they say he's a fiery competitor. When you lose, it's a problem. And we have a knucklehead on the field. Now we've got some of the players who are mixing it up, and this has a potential to get ugly. Some players are on the field fighting, and the benches are emptying.
Is it possible, though, that from where he's coming from, if you practiced, not you would be better, but your teammates would be better?
How the hell can I make my teammates better by practicing?
Look at this now. Armstrong is absolutely flying here.
He has achieved yet another page in this fairy story that just goes on.
The Sports Conflict Institute, SCI, is all about understanding, preventing, and resolving conflict in sports. So we care deeply about what happens inside and outside the lines and get involved really wherever there are issues to help support competitive goals. Understanding, we need to know what the problems are that we're even going to work on. It doesn't make sense to come up with solutions that are broad and unspecific. We need to really think about what we want to address. So we look at cost of conflict, we look at why these things happen, we look at where we can make the most impact.
How the player handles it. I think at the end of the day, you know, you have to understand that the coach has something that you want. And in this day and age, you know, if you don't, and that's playing time. And obviously you have a talent that they like to put on display. But if you don't do what you have to do as far as following the rules, then they'll put the next guy in your place.
The cameras love to focus on the coach that's yelling at the player more than they love the coach that's, you know, 9 times out of 10 patting a player on the back.
Atkinson losing the handle. Shooting the technicals. Look at here.
In terms of preventing, it's all the things that we can do to keep people on the playing field and keep performance as the main focus. So we look at ways to focus on team dynamics, we look at help in terms of education and support, we look at all the structures that we can put in place. And really there, what we're talking about is it's so much cheaper to prevent a conflict than it is to resolve it.
This is a day removed from Bernardo Sidney being suspended from the team, missing a game after a similar incident at practice.
Pac-Man Jones, through failure, gives great advice. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. Here's where I'm a screw up, do this.
I think what we need is a train-the-trainer type of model, is my real opinion. Because coaches and other folks that are with these student athletes every day need to understand how to do it.
A lot of the pieces I have used and talked about when I've had my individual talks with my team, but never had anything where everything was there together, and that's where I think this could be fantastic.
We can think of something like the Garrett Blunt situation, and we can deal with that in practice the first time there is a fight, and address it so it doesn't happen there. It's far less likely to happen in a major nationally televised event when the costs are far more comprehensive at that point.
It's kind of always taught to view your competitors as people that you're just working together with and kind of striving towards the same goal. And I think that's what's awesome about running, is that it's kind of, I mean, you get nervous about racing these people that are really good, but ultimately when you race the best people, you're going to bring out the best in each other.
Resolving is the bread and butter of what we do in conflict resolution. It's mediation, it's arbitration, it's negotiation, it's all the things after something's happened that we can do in the aftermath, including restorative justice. We're very good at it. We have years and years of research in doing the resolving. The key for us is we want to move things more and more towards preventing where the costs are far less.
Can be hard to find the positive in conflict, but at times I think when you hear a level voice or a voice of reason, although it can be difficult to find at times, that can be a diffusive factor in conflict.
You could probably point out some examples of players getting into arguments in Major League Baseball where players are getting into arguments in a dugout, but you know, we're all kind of brainwashed as athletes that you kind of deal with things like that, and the teams that are exceptional and win championships are the teams that have great chemistry, and the teams that have those issues are the teams that don't win. You know, so it's not an accident. This is a team game, and it's no different in business or in Little League or middle school or high school sports. when there's a natural cohesion that's within a group of people, they're going to work together well.
So we work on a range of cases. We work with teams. We work with major football programs to deal with issues around conduct and create leadership and accountability models. We've done postseason assessment instruments. We do observation. We've set up an ombuds office that handles all the conflicts that happen at one of the local youth sports organizations. We've worked with a number of the leagues around issues of training and around conflict management.
In terms of conflict, if you look at what the elements are of any story, and any sport requires a storyline, in essence, what you need is conflict, because conflict ultimately and hopefully prompts resolution, and resolution means there's been a result, and that's what sport is based on.
The Sports Conflict Institute is about preparing for optimal performance. Please connect with us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and via our website at sportsconflict.org.